in a hole and hibernate once more. But still, people were grateful for that. One of the things that we did not expect was the long line at the gas station. After all, it was announced that the gas station that was going to be open today was going to do so to provide gas only for the essential workers. In fact, there were officers who were there to verify the identity of persons wanting to fill up. But Lord, according to Skinny Bantan, if you see people, it was like a carnival. Anyway, folks, let's take a look at the headlines. People living with sickle cell disease, you are urged to take precaution against the COVID-19. Grenada records one more confirmed the case of the COVID-19. And one of the confirmed cases of COVID-19 left the island. Took a plane and roll. And they can be in some serious problems. According to the authorities, we'll talk about that later on. Take your time with me, don't push me. There was a shooting incident which resulted in the death of a man. We're going to talk about that in a while. Police also confirming that shooting incident and, of course, making it known, contrary to certain statements made on social media, that the police was not involved in that shooting incident. Police say they are hunting for a man who made threats against the Prime Minister's life, and as well Grenada police. But nah, man, between me and the dog, don't mess with Grenada police, now they dead. They're not chilling that in the dog. We like COVID, you know. You be there, yeah, bye. They like COVID, you don't see them in the ball, you know, it's bap, 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 you know. And you really leave that dog there. 47 persons arrested since the beginning of the state of emergency. Listen, man, 47? But anyway, we're talking more about that. We're just talking about the headlines still. Barbadians in the United States hard hit by the COVID-19. We're going to talk about that. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines records another case of the COVID-19. So we have that and more to tell you about when we return on tonight's Mikey Live program. People, gotta let you know that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Digicel and as well brought to you by Nawasa. So here's what going on, people. When you hear we come back, it could be real news in Ole Lily Lolo. So brace all yourself and listen. Don't touch all the things. Oh, and by the way, if all the things are catching me tonight, you understand? Fool me once, shame on me. On you, fool me twice, shame on me. I bring me jeggings to wipe me elbow. Yeah, I mean? Yeah, as I was saying, like I told all the last night, when the Rasta man bathed in the night, it's not to put no cream on his skin. You had to go and sleep naked as you're born. But I realize now, and they come on the program and they come on the AC and the elbow kind of white. Catch me last night and they running him out and all the boy, eh? Yeah, not tonight. Come for the deal. We're coming back.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chiavari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand St. George.
The following is an important announcement from NWASA. The National Water and Sewage Authority NWASA is an essential service within the meaning of the Emergency Powers COVID-19 Regulations 2020. In light of the recent announcement by the government of Grenada of a mandatory shutdown for the period March 30th to April 6th, 2020, be advised that all offices island-wide will be closed. During the period, the following numbers will be available for the reporting of leaks and no water complaints. The Parish of St. Andrew, 405-3362. The parishes of St. David and St. George, 459-4096, 405-3814, 405-6996. The parishes of St. Mark, St. John and St. Patrick, 405-1197. NWASA's emergency line, 435-0715 or 292 plus the number sign. WhatsApp 459-6064. Consumers are advised that team members will not provide bill balances and account queries on the telephone numbers provided. NWASA thanks the general public for their understanding and cooperation and encourage you to please be on the safe side. NWASA, committed to meeting customers' needs.
All right, thank you very much, NWASA, and of course to those of you who are viewing the program for the first time, we would like to say hello to you, and to the loyal, to the people who are always there, we'd like to say hello to you as well. We do appreciate your company all the time. Again, remember that this is news discussed, not told, and of course, yeah, so brace all yourself, all right? Okay, now, Olia. You know, sickle cells is a thing that is pretty common in this part of the world, and particular Grenada. Okay, so the sickle cell unit at the Caribbean Institute for Health Research, located at the University of the West Indies, Mona campus, they're urging people living with sickle cell disease to exercise extra caution amid the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. The unit says people with sickle cell disease may be at increased risk of severe complications if they get the COVID-19 and are advised to minimize their risk of exposure by staying at home as much as possible. Against this backdrop, the unit is rescheduling appointments for people with routine appointments who are well. All right, so of course they're making sure that they are limiting all that sort of exposure. Everybody is taking note, which is good. We take anything serious now. Okay, Olia, the Minister for Health, Honorable Nicholas Steele, says that Grenada has recorded one more laboratory confirmed the case of the COVID-19, bringing that total number to 10 cases so far. Now, there was an address to the nation today, and that's when the information was revealed to the general public.
Good evening. As Grenada's Minister of Health, today, Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, I announced that one more laboratory confirmed case of COVID-19 on mainland Grenada has been diagnosed. This brings the total confirmed cases of COVID-19 to 10. The individual is a 58-year-old male who arrived in Grenada from New York on March 19th. He started experiencing symptoms on March 30th and was tested on March 31st. His symptoms are currently recorded as fever, cough, and general weakness. He is quarantined and being monitored closely. There are 2 other family members in the household, and they too are under quarantine, but are not exhibiting any symptoms of the virus to date. The individual was found through proactive contact tracing by health officials, using the manifest of the New York flight, which arrived in Grenada on March 19th. I want to emphasize that healthcare officials have been aggressively engaged in contact tracing, especially of individuals who arrived in Grenada during March 16th to 22nd period. We have found that most of our cases so far arrived in Grenada or are linked to someone who arrived in Grenada during that period. The pattern is similar in several other countries throughout the region. This reinforces to us the necessity to have closed our borders to contain the spread of this virus here on island. All the individuals who have tested positive so far for COVID-19 are stable and exhibiting mild to moderate symptoms. In terms of testing, 37 people in total have been tested to date. 10 people have tested positive to date, with 1 result pending.
Thank you very much, Minister Steele. Now, although you hear about the person who left the island, one of the confirmed cases who left the island. So according to the minister, follow-up with relevant law enforcement authorities is on the way after that individual would have left the country. The minister confirmed the information that was circulating a couple of days ago. During the same statement today, Honorable Steele said that they subsequently learned that the individual is now in the United Kingdom. So they say they are looking into the necessary legislation and so on. And they go see how they're handling that piece.
I wish to address a very vexing matter. One of the cases confirmed last weekend left Grenada on the same day the confirmation was announced, but before he got his results. We subsequently learned that he is now in the United Kingdom. I wish to outline the timeline of events. He was tested on Thursday, March 26th. The results came back on Saturday, March 28th. As per procedure, health officials tried to reach him minutes later to inform that he had tested positive for COVID-19. As minister, I went ahead and announced the case to the nation, as we have been doing. The individual was neither found on Saturday nor on Sunday. On Sunday, health officials reported the matter to the police. It was later confirmed that the individual and his family left the island aboard Air Canada before he got his results on Saturday. Sisters and brothers, this is troubling in many ways, especially the level of exposure between his place of residence in Grenada and his abode in the United Kingdom, where he says he is now. This is a level of dishonesty and recklessness such that we do not need at this time. We cannot stress enough, lives are already at stake without the added risk. We have followed up with that individual to ascertain his movements and mode of movement on the day he left the country undetected. We are also following up with relevant law enforcement authorities because in our view, this is cause for liability. I remind the general population that as per international procedures, once someone is tested, that person is placed under self-quarantine at their place of residence. The officials monitor them until the test results are obtained. Once they test positive, and once they do not need medical attention during the period of their illness, they are quarantined in homes and constantly monitored for the next 14 days. This is a standard practice everywhere in the world.
All right, and there are concerns that even if that's a standard practice, elsewhere in the world, probably Grenada should adopt a different approach if we believe that one will be more effective than what is being done worldwide. Legitimate argument, if you ask me, but who in the frying pan feel the heat? I don't know nothing about that. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying when you go for politics, don't vote for me because I'm going to interrupt the place. Anyway, let me do that talk there. Okay, so earlier, the next thing that we have to tell earlier about, boy, a man was killed in Chiavari. Today, this morning, persons spoke of seeing his body on the ground, blood. It seemed to be coming from his head and other parts of his body. It was later determined that he was shot dead. Once that information started circulating, there were a lot of speculations. Persons started accusing the police of shooting the individual. You understand? But later, we will tell you what the police have to say about that. But this morning, in a press conference, the question was asked to the police, and they confirmed the incident.
Yes, I can confirm that we are currently investigating a murder, and I want to be categorically clear here on this particular question, Rina. I want to say to the Grenadian public, there is no police involvement in this shooting. I am making this point because this is the news that I've been making the round on social media all morning. There is no police involvement in the shooting. We are currently investigating a possible murder of committed with a gun. We are started our investigation very vigorously. We do have a number of persons in custody who is assisting us with our investigations, and that is all I do wish to say on this particular point.
All right, so thank you very much, and I trust that we will get to know more tomorrow. God's willing, there will be another press conference with the police at 8:30, and we endeavor to bring that on the program for you. So expect us to be live at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Get up, brush all the teeth and organize all the business, wash all the thing, and then wait for when we are live at 8:30 with the police. This will happen for the rest of the week. Okay, so after this, and we're giving you a chronological order. After news started circulating about the death of the individual, a video surfaced with a man with a jersey or t-shirt in his face, black t-shirt, threatening to kill, threatening to retaliate, even speaking to the Prime Minister as well, saying, yo, I gotta watch it, because we're coming for all you. Many persons were in awe when they saw this video.
Yes, all yeah. What I say, the government agreeing with that. What I'm saying, right? You all do something the last night and it's not a good scene. You understand? Calling out to Kit Mitchell and his Polish friends and them, right? You know what I'm saying? You see that murder?
Folks, the police say that they are treating this very seriously. Ninja man, I don't know your name, partners, but what I'm saying is, them police say they working to find out who you is and things. So if I was you, I'd bleach. And I get like a Clorox at that, you know what I mean? And ask them what they use like a Septol. You know, partner, use like a Septol and thing, you know. First thing in the morning, last thing in the night. See if you could get shave out some of the color on your face, partner, because they say they coming. You know what I mean? What would do? So, partners, they say they coming. In fact, the police addressed this very issue this morning. You know, they say that they are going to spare no efforts in finding out exactly who is responsible, who is the man behind the mask.
We are vigorously pursuing this individual, We have had a number of leads. We think we probably know who it is, and we will leave no stone unturned to find whoever is responsible. It is unbecoming of us to threaten the very life of the Prime Minister of the country and law enforcement. And this is not something the RGPF will sit idle by and allow to perpetuate throughout our society. So we will be vigorously pursuing the individual or individuals behind this particular video.
Okay, the question was asked whether or not this individual is based in Grenada or in another country. And a stupid person that lied say, well, duh, Mikey, to suggest that the person had to be in Grenada. When I don't know, I don't know how to mouth. Sometimes all of us make me feel like saying things, eh? But talk the truth. People does make all they feel like saying things on social media. When they don't know better, they know they're bright, but they go and say things on social media. Yeah, son. You know, if you know you're bright, if you know you're, you know what I mean? If you know you had to climb ladder to get up there, then hush your mouth. Because what I'm saying is you're making yourself look stupid. Some people just feel like they could come behind journalists and come behind reporters who try their best every day. I'm telling you, they had to climb ladder to get up there, but they still want to give man talk. Yo, look here, all right. Make me behave, man. I don't really want to get on the program and thing, but what I'm saying, I'll chill out now, dog. Anyway, so they say they go walk to finding out who it is. You know what I mean? So, right. We're moving on. How are we looking for time? Now, according to the police, 47 persons have been arrested since the beginning of the state of emergency business, you know. They say they're walking dog. You know what I mean? They say some people just violating. And as they violate, the police doing their work.
Starting today, we are adding our drone capabilities to our law enforcement efforts. We will be using drones to assist law enforcement in our endeavors to ensure that the curfew is being abided by and that citizens adhere to the advice given to them. Since Grenada has gone into this limited phase on the 25th of March, we have arrested 47 persons in total for violating the curfew. 27 for the first week and 20 thus far for the first few days of this last 7 days. We urge you, members of the public, to please adhere to the advice given by the medical professionals. Please stay indoors and only move if you have to, when you have to, having the right permission so to do. We are at the same time stepping up our law enforcement engagements on the outside. We are becoming tougher in the way we handle violators of the regulations. Our arrest and our patrolling is intensifying as we go deeper into this period of the 7 days. We urge you, please abide by the law and avoid us having to detain, arrest, or inconvenience you.
Thank you very much, sir. We hear you. You know what I mean? We hear you. No. So we were talking about the overall period, but since the escalated state of emergency, 20 persons have been arrested, and the police gave the breakdown on that.
To date, for the first 2 days of this latter period, or this last period of 7 days, under the new measures, we have arrested 20 persons. 11 on day one, and day one started at 6 a.m. on Monday morning to 6 a.m. on Tuesday, and day two, 6 a.m. on Tuesday to 6 a.m. this morning. So on day one, we arrested 11 persons. On day two, we arrested 9 persons. So to date, for those 2 days, we have arrested 20 persons. On day one, 10 of the 11 persons were arrested for breach of the curfew, and 1 person was arrested for violating the distance protocol. The addresses of the 11 persons for day one is as follows: 3 persons from St. David's, 7 persons from St. George's, and 1 person from St. John's. On day 2, of the 9 persons arrested, 7 are from St. George's, 1 from St. Patrick's, and 1 from St. Andrew. We want to thank the public profoundly for the tremendous support in letting us know what is happening in the neighborhood. Without your effort, we would not have been this successful. Please continue to call in whatever information you may have of violators of the curfew. You can continue to do so by dialing 440-3999-911, our emergency line, or the nearest police station. We also want to thank the Grenadian public for their cooperation in adhering to the advice given to stay indoors. We have seen very little movement of people thus far, and if we continue to adhere to the advice to stay indoors, we have no doubt that Grenada will be spared the wrath of sicknesses and diseases that we have seen in other countries.
Well, let's see how it flows, you know what I mean? Let's see what's going on. Okay, now the Royal Grenada Police Force assures the general public of its commitment to the safety of all persons in this challenging time. With this, the RGPF has established its Operational Management Center, through which all law enforcement responses are coordinated on a national front. To date, they say they have issued dozens of emergency passes to persons so qualified. They have also hosted several media and television programs, as well as 3 virtual media briefings via Zoom, providing information to the general public and answering to their concerns. All right, so we are looking pretty. How are we going again? Well, yeah, we're moving on. Don't forget that NAWASA has instituted the valve regulations because they say things looking kind of dry. So that's for Les Avocats and the Mardi Gras systems. And of course, well, if you're living within that those areas, you would know whether or not you are served by these systems. All right, good. We are moving on. No, earlier, Grenada is not the only island that have seen deaths outside of Grenada, and in particular the United States. We've had several persons who are of Grenadian descent or who lived in Grenada and then moved just recently, who became victim of the COVID-19. I don't know, I just don't find I hear people talking about it enough, but anyway. Barbados as well has suffered the same fate. Barbados have had quite a few of its own who have died. And 4 Barbadian nationals in the United States all died from the dreaded coronavirus, wreaking havoc in the country now. You understand? Very promising people. Very, very promising. One of them is even an athlete. And the virus just decided, you know, well, that is what's going on, you know. So. Anyway, earlier, you know, just recently, they announced that St. Vincent and the Grenadines was corona-free. Well, that status has changed once again. Now, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, like Grenada, today recorded another case of the COVID-19. So now that's the second case for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. According to them, it is another imported case. Now they say that the additional positive result was returned from the most recent batch of samples that was sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARFA, lab for testing. They say that the sample which tested positive was taken from a female patient who had traveled to St. Vincent and the Grenadines from the United States of America on the 25th of March 2020. The patient and all the other passengers on her flight was in mandatory quarantine from the time of her arrival in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. According to a report there, she reported symptoms on March 28th when a sample was taken for the COVID-19. The Vincentian national was maintained in isolation since that period. Oh, the test takes so long to come back. I know the test takes a few hours. Oh, the test takes so long if she was tested. What really going on there? She reported symptoms on the 28th when a sample was taken. So let's say the sample was taken on the 28th. All right? Today is the first one. 28, 29, 30, 31. Usually the test come. Let me come out of people's business. So yeah. Let me come out of people's business. I know my business. Okay, thank you for the information. So, governments should stop wasting precious time needed to fight the coronavirus after squandering an opportunity to prevent the COVID-19 pandemic, the World Health Organization has said. They said that we squandered the first window of opportunity, said the World Health Organization director. The time to act was actually more than a month ago or 2 months ago. We squandered the opportunity. So here's what. Don't play politics with the business right now. Tell people to stay home. Don't think about the economics. Just tell people to stay home until the dust settles. That's what I say. So, that's according to the World Health Organization. Now, me, I say, I don't care. You know what I mean? Nobody can take food out of my mouth because I have Popeye outside. So, eating Popeye whole day, whole night. You know what I mean? All you have to do is get ready for the run belly. Earlier, in our neighboring St. Lucia, COVID-19 cases has jumped to 13 there. But the authorities say that they are doing everything that they can. Remember that they too have strict rules on how people should go about doing business and so on, now that they have so many cases there.
St. Lucia has recorded 4 new cases of COVID-19. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George in the latest public health update disclosed that while all 4 of the patients had no travel history, 1 had contact with someone who did.
The first case is a 37-year-old female with no travel history but was in contact with someone within the tourism industry. She presented to our healthcare facility on March 23rd. The second case is a 34-year-old female with no travel history, no known contact with someone with significant travel history, and presented to our healthcare facility on March 24th. The third case is a 54-year-old female with no travel history as well and came into the healthcare facility on March 24th. The fourth case is a 40-year-old male with no history of travel but contact with persons with recent travel into St. Lucia. He came into our healthcare facility on March 25th.
Dr. Belmar-George says all the cases were captured from the community respiratory clinics and contact tracing by teams is underway. Hundreds of St. Lucians still in quarantine, with the first batch of citizens set for release in coming days.
All right, thank you very much. How are we looking for time? Now, folks, from time to time, we try our best to strike a balance between the hardcore and the relaxing. And of course, we have come to the point of our program where we need to step back a bit and share with you our entertainment piece. And we share these pieces with you for reasons more than one. One, at least to give a little exposure to the talent that we have here in Grenada, because we have a lot, and if we do not recognize our very own, then who's going to do it for us? It's not about the hype for me. You know, I would share the simplest thing. Doesn't matter what our viewership is like, if it's going to be affected. That's not the point. The point is sharing what potentially can become something big for these individuals. So our next entertainment piece today features a young man who's very talented here in Grenada. His name is Kev Roberts. He plays the violin and the saxophone. And at a time like this, when everything seems to be very busy around us, a song, a rendition that brings a calm, the prayer. That's our entertainment piece for tonight by Cave Roberts, and it's called The Prayer, playing both the violin and the saxophone. So folks, that's it, and we're going to have another entertainment piece for you. Again, remember that it is fully Grenadian. We're taking a break right now, and we'll return with you shortly. And when we come back, we have your favorite part of the program. Stay tuned.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Brannan, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
The following is an important announcement from NOWASA. The National Water and Sewage Authority NOWASA is an essential service within the meaning of the Emergency Powers COVID-19 Regulations 2020. In light of the recent announcement by the Government of Grenada of a mandatory shutdown for the period March 30th to April 6th, 2020, be advised that all offices island-wide will be closed. During the period, the following numbers will be available for the reporting of leaks and no water complaints. The Parish of St. Andrew, 405-3362. The parishes of St. David and St. George, 459-4096, 405-3814, 405-6996. The parishes of St. Mark, St. John, and St. Patrick, 405-1197. NOWASA's emergency line, 435-0715 or 292 plus the number sign. WhatsApp 459-6064. Consumers are advised that team members will not provide bill balances and account queries on the telephone numbers provided. NOWASA thanks the general public for their understanding and cooperation and encourage you to please be on the safe side. NOWASA, committed to meeting customers' needs.
All right, thank you very much, NOWASA. And folks, what we have for you right now is the National Report.
RGPF says threats made against the Prime Minister will not be taken lightly. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, I am Rikisha St. Louis. An investigation has been launched into a video that has gone viral on social media on Wednesday that contains threats to the Prime Minister and members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Superintendent Vanny Cohen told members of the media on Wednesday that the threats made will not be taken lightly and the force is doing everything in its power to detain the responsible individual or individuals. The video was made following a shooting incident in the Bolio Boca area, which left one man dead. Superintendent Kerwin says the investigation will not stop until someone is held responsible for the threats made against the country's prime minister and law enforcement officers.
We are vigorously pursuing this individual. We have had a number of leads. We think we probably know who it is, and we will leave no stone unturned to find whoever is responsible. It is unbecoming of us to threaten the very life of the Prime Minister of the country and law enforcement. And this is not something the RGPF will sit idle by and allow to perpetuate throughout our society. So we will be vigorously pursuing the individual or individuals behind this particular video.
In the video, a male wearing a mask blames government and police officers for the death of the young man. Superintendent Kerwin dismissed the rumors and said members of the Royal Grenada Police Force are not responsible for the killing.
There is no police involvement in this shooting. I am making this point because this is the news that I've been making the round on social media all morning. There is no police involvement in the shooting. We are currently investigating a possible murder of committed with a gun. We have started our investigation very vigorously. We do have a number of persons in custody who is assisting us with our investigations, and that is all I do wish to say on this particular point.
The Royal Grenada Police Force will be using technology to ensure that Grenadians comply with the regulations of the mandatory curfew. As of Wednesday, April 1st, the RGPF will be using drones island-wide to confirm that there is full obedience to the existing curfew. That's according to Superintendent Vanny Cohen. The RGPF has been recording very good support from members of the public with regards to respect for the curfew hours, social distancing protocol, and traffic regulations.
We have seen very little movement of people thus far, and if we continue to adhere to the advice to stay indoors, we have no doubt that Grenada will be spared the wrath of sicknesses and diseases that we have seen in other countries. Starting today, we are adding our drone capabilities to our law enforcement efforts. We will be using drones to assist law enforcement in our endeavors to ensure that the curfew is being abided by and that citizens adhere to the advice given to them.
However, there is room for improvement. 47 Grenadians have been arrested and charged with violating the 2020 Emergency Powers COVID-19 operations. Superintendent Kerwin said since the limited state of emergency was escalated to the mandatory curfew on Monday, 20 persons from St. Andrew, St. Patrick, St. David and St. George's were arrested.
To date, for the first 2 days of this latter period, or this last period of 7 days, under the new measures, we have arrested 20 persons. 11 on day one, and day one started at 6 a.m. on Monday morning to 6 a.m. on Tuesday, and day two, 6 a.m. on Tuesday to 6 a.m. this morning. So on day one, we arrested 11 persons. On day two, we arrested 9 persons. So to date, for those 2 days, we have arrested 20 persons. On day one, 10 of the 11 persons were arrested for breach of the curfew, and 1 person was arrested for violating the distance protocol. The addresses of the 11 persons for day one is as follows: 3 persons from St. David's, 7 persons from St. George's, and 1 person from St. John's. On day two, of the 9 persons arrested, 7 are from St. George's, 1 from St. Patrick's, and 1 from St. Andrew.
Overall, a total of 47 arrests have been made.
Since Grenada has gone into this limited phase on the 25th of March, we have arrested 47 persons in total for violating the curfew. 27 for the first week, and 20 thus far for the first few days of this last 7 days. We urge you, members of the public, to please adhere to the advice given by the medical professionals. Please stay indoors and only move if you have to, when you have to, having the right permission so to do.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy.
To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal.
When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development continues to keep the nation's students in tune with mathematics following the launch of its Spice Math project. 5 top math tutors have been contracted to teach online math to students from 5th grade to 5th form. The online learning platform is important to the ministry, especially now that students are learning from home due to the closure of schools following government's decision to impose a 24-hour curfew to limit mobility and the spread of COVID-19. Education Minister Honorable Emmeline Pear at the launch of the online platform highlighted the importance of the initiative. She said the ministry will look into extending the online teaching to other subject areas.
This would not just benefit students in school, but many students who are attempting to do math privately for external examinations. The objective is not just to provide lessons to our students during this critical time, but it is also a strategy to improve students' performance in the area of mathematics. The statistics shows that we have seriously underperformed in this area for many years. Spice Math would be accessible as a link on our MSTA platform, as well as through other mediums such as GIS TV, the Ministry of Education Facebook page. Spice Math would target math students from grade 5 to Form 5 in this first phase of the project. Later on, we hope to add versions of other subjects such as English.
Spice Math episodes are being aired on GIS Channel 22 and live on the Facebook page from 9 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Finally, in the news, the Royal Grenada Police Force is seeking to approve extra fueling stations around the island. The Call gas station located in River Road, St. George's, is the only authorized gas station to provide services to essential workers on specific days during the mandatory curfew. Wednesday marked the first day for the gas stations and shops to be in operation. During a press conference held via Zoom on Wednesday, Acting Commissioner of Police Jesmond Prince said the RGPF is looking to authorize more stations for fueling services to prevent large gatherings.
There is a need for the establishment of other fueling stations around the island, and that has several advantages to the whole idea of social distancing protocol. So this is now going to be discussed, and very soon there will be a release to announce those fueling stations that would be then will be now made available for that.
He further stressed that the general public should adhere to the regulations.
Those stations are for essential services only. The police will be checking on every vehicle that is lined up to get fuel from these stations to ensure that these persons are persons that are operating within the essential services sector. And again, while this is being done, the police is going to emphasize and enforce the social distancing program protocol during that time.
Meanwhile, small shops within each parish will be in operation Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays from the hours of 8 a.m. to 12 noon. ACP Prince recognizes the compliance of small shop owners.
So far, we've had full compliance in most of the areas that we've recognized that are open. The exercising of the limited space, limited amount of persons in the supermarket or the grocery store at any one time, we've seen that is being maintained throughout. So I think that in a general sense, the population is understanding what we are trying to do, and there are quite a bit of cooperation on the part of the population in respecting the social distancing protocol. But every so often we have to intervene and ask persons to exercise, and in most cases we get compliance. But we really want to get to the point where we would not have to be telling you to do it. You just know that you have to do it because your safety, the security of your own personal life is at stake if you don't recognize that you have to do these things without you being told to do so.
That story just ended the national report for today, Wednesday, April 1st. Let's recap the top story. RGPF says threats made against the Prime Minister will not be taken lightly. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
All right, folks, so that's it. Thank you very much, Rikisha, and everyone else who were part of the production of the National Report. And, folks, we need to take a look at the weather and see what's happening for today, Wednesday. Generally fair conditions, increasing in cloudiness overnight with a few brief, isolated showers. Now, the maximum temperature today was just around 30.5 degrees Celsius, and the minimum for tonight will be 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 6 feet in open waters. And of course, folks, we see that in terms of the marine advisory, there is none in effect, all right? So good. Right, so that's it, folks. We're going to come back with another program for you tomorrow, God's willing, and it's going to be nice. I just want to say hello to a few people on the business. George, Danica, Rose, Zaka, Joyous, Camille, Sherman, Doris, Rose again, Shireen, Kireen, Clisilda, Deslin, Margaret, and I see that we have here with us Noreen, and my mom, Linton, Meryl, Zilon, Michelle, Veron, Esther, Peter, Ventress, and Geneva. Big up all yourself, alright guys? And everyone else, man, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Khadija, I see you there. Glenda, big up yourself, Glenda. Irma, big up yourself, Irma. Colette, I see you there too, you know, Colette. Big up your whole self, Della and Jane. Hazel, what's going down, Hazel? Mishi, you never miss it. And so big up yourself. Jean and Dinah. Liatha, is that how you pronounce it? And Robbie, big up yourself too, alright? So everybody big up all yourself. We have come to the end of our program for tonight, and I'd like to say thank you again. And some of you don't share the business yet. So for those of you who have not yet shared the business, I would want to encourage you right now to share the business so that other people will get to see that we are here. You're such a great audience, man. I love and appreciate you every time. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow again. Let's do the thing now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we all say, yeah! No. Good night, everyone. And don't forget to check out our website, mikeylive.com. And if you have not liked the page, like the business, man, so that you can get notifications when we come online, because with a real thing happening. You know what I mean? With a real thing happening. So like the thing. You hear me? And yeah, behave well yourself and stay inside. God bless you. Love you.
Coughs and sneezes spread diseases. So cover coughs and sneezes, please. Not with a rag or bandana. They trap germs. When you use the rag again, you put germs on your hands and everything else you touch. When you cough or sneeze, cover your mouth and nose with tissue. Throw the tissue in a bin and wash your hands afterwards. If you don't have a tissue, cough into your sleeve or elbow. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers are also effective in cleaning hands.
Stop the spread of germs that can make you and others sick. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. Wash hands often, especially after coughing or sneezing into a tissue.
Feel good facts.
Avoid the most common causes of spreading the flu. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, dispose of it straight away, and either wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Feel good facts.
Avoid the most common causes of spreading the flu. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, dispose of it straight away, and either wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Stop the spread of germs that can make you and others sick. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. Wash hands often, especially after coughing or sneezing into a tissue.
Feel good facts.
Remember, if you have flu symptoms, do the right thing and stay at home to avoid giving it to others. Remember, you can be infectious up to a week after developing symptoms, so rest up and take it easy.